Have you ever tried an AI tool expecting magic and ended up thinking, it's not all that? I can't tell you how many times I've seen AI marketing material that sets the expectations just way too high. When people actually start using it, they don't get the results they expect. They get vague, surface-level answers, and they're just left wanting. The truth, not all AI tools do the same thing, and if you don't know the difference, it's easy to feel like you're wasting your time. Today, we're going to break down the 3 levels of AI, why they matter, and how to pick the one that actually works for you. Now, if you're new to Microsoft 365 and wondering how to use tools like Outlook, Teams, SharePoint, or Planner, check out our 365 Foundations course. It's the best way to get you and your team aligned on how to use these tools. To learn more, check out the description below. So now let's get into the different levels of AI you're probably hearing about today. There are 3 broad levels you need to understand. The first is general AI. This is something you probably have a lot of experience with already. You can see it all over the place. It's good at answering questions, brainstorming ideas, summarizing texts, just accessing general information. This is information that's not really work-related or private. It's just general knowledge. Where you might have seen it already would be in Google search results or in ChatGPT, regular Copilot chat. Like all of the major AI tools out there really start by saying, I'm just going to give you access to general knowledge, right? Everything that's available in the web just through a chat interface. So let me show you an example. So I'm just here in Microsoft 365 Copilot. This is just the free version. So it's grounded in web, which means, again, it's general knowledge. And I'm just going to ask it for a recipe for shakshuka. And again, it knows all about that, right? However, if I go in and ask it a question about something private, it doesn't have access, right? So this is a perfect example of the differences between general AI and our next one. The next one is work-aware AI. So this is a type of AI that has access to your private information, whether or not that be limited to a particular software package or more broadly available to all of the information you have access to. This type of AI is really good at answering questions, summarizing information, but it can do that in the context of your work data. So it knows about your documents, your calendars, your email, and it can include that in the responses that it is giving you. I have the same user, but I now have a full Copilot license. So this version has access to all of my work data. So as you notice up here, I'm in the work mode, and I'm just going to ask it a question like, what's the last Teams message I received? I got one from Matt Dressel on July 30th. Here's what it is. So again, this is an example of something you can do because it has the context of my data. It has my private information, and that information stays with me. So the last type of AI is really the up-and-coming, the thing that everybody's focused on trying to really start leveraging, and that's Agentic AI. Agentic AI takes this general knowledge and distills it down into something that's really focused on a particular activity. It allows you to ask questions focused around that work. You can do things. You can ask it to actually do things on your behalf. You can have it work completely independent, right? And make decisions for you and just, watch for something to happen and then respond back to it. Agentic AI is the thing that a lot of organizations in a lot of marketing material are really kind of promoting or, driving home. It is the next level of AI. To give you an example of Agentic AI, we're in process of building an agent that works on bulb content. So it is informed by all of our YouTube videos, all of our internal comments, and content. So it really is geared for us and our team to get answers to questions a little quicker, based in how we would respond to those things. I'm just going to come in here. You can see I'm in the bulb content agent, and I'm going to ask it to give me some content, our topic-based communication strategy. And it should come back with specific things that I could go look at and consume or talk about that related to our content. Cool. So it gives me a video to watch, some information about pitfalls around person-based communication versus topic-based communication. Again, this is something we're working on. It's not final. This isn't anything that I would consider to be a final version, but it just gives you an example of this is very specialized, very specific. You could imagine how I could actually ask it maybe to take an action based on what I've been discussing. So maybe I want to take these resources and package it up into an email that I would send to a specific customer. It just is the next level. Rather than me just asking general questions, now I get something a little bit more specific. So now that you know the different levels of AI, you really should be thinking about what level makes sense for what you're trying to do. This is really important because some people, in what you're trying to ask, generalized AI is all you need. In fact, in my daily life, that's what I use the most. I'm not dealing with things that I really need or want to be dealing with internal data all the time. I use it a lot. I use it frequently on internal data, but most of the time, it's actually general AI. That's the thing I use the most. When you think about work-aware AI, now you're talking about things where I'm trying to create something for one of my customers. I'm trying to create content based on this private data. Maybe I'm trying to analyze some data. Again, it's free form. I'm trying to investigate, analyze, ask questions, look for information. And last, we come to agentic AI, and that is something that really is about doing something specific. So this is something where maybe the task that I'm trying to do, I don't want it to be free roaming, right? I want it to be very specific, very accurate, very predictable in what it's doing. Agentic AI is what you're looking for. It's also the thing that you want to use to automate things. So if you're looking to automatically make a decision, agentic AI is what you're looking to try to do. So again, choosing the right one for your purpose is really important. If you go and attempt to use a general AI tool to solve a specific problem and expect great results, you're not going to get it. You really want to be looking more towards the agentic or at least work-related, work-aware AI. If you're going and using a work-aware or an agentic AI, when you really are looking for general knowledge, you may not even get any results because it's not meant to have general knowledge of everything on the internet. Okay, so now you might be thinking to yourself, why is this so hard? Why do I have 3 different levels? AI is supposed to be making my life easier. Why isn't there just one AI that I just use and it can answer everything I want? Well, maybe one day it will be. But today, it's really, really hard to answer all of the questions that we as humans might be asking with zero context, right? If you want something that works super great, super fast for your purpose, you need to be going and choosing and building the right type of AI. Even in a case where you're trying to do agentic AI, you don't really need agentic AI all the time. For example, if I built a chatbot that responds to common questions in my organization, some of those questions you really need that agentic AI and generative AI and all of these different things that will, do advanced processing and looking into, the context of what's going on. Some questions are really simple and easy, like what's the guest Wi-Fi password? You really want those things to be answered by quick, basic, lookup. Oh, what's the Wi-Fi password? Cool, that's what I want. Give the result back, right? You don't want AI to go search the internet looking for your guest Wi-Fi password. And so really, when you think about building agentic AI, you really need to spend a lot of time understanding what your goal is and building an agent that really covers all the scenarios. You might have noticed in the one that I gave, which is our bulk content agent, it didn't really give great results. It's a work in progress. We're working towards a better result. So far, we've just been pulling data in, making sure it's looking at the right data. The next level is we need to start giving it even more intelligence about how we want it to respond, the context behind it, enabling different actions and features. The bottom line is it's a lot of work. If you really think you need agentic AI, the cost is going to be significant. You need to be getting value out of that work that you're going to be investing. If not, maybe you really need to be focused more on general AI or work-aware AI. They have their own kind of hidden costs. You're really dependent on the training that you give your individual users. They need to understand how to prompt. They need to understand how they can use this data, sanity check this information, manage their chats with this AI bot. So even in those cases, there's a little bit of a hidden cost and, a little bit more work than you might expect than just, oh, I enabled AI and everybody does 40% more work, right? It's not that simple. You're going to, no matter which level you choose, have some extra work that needs to be done. So if you take this concept and apply it to Copilot in Microsoft 365, the free version, like what I talked about in my last video, that's going to be general AI. You're going to have general knowledge. It's only going to know about the work stuff that you have actually given it. If you use the paid version of Copilot, now you're going to have work-aware AI. It knows all about your data that's in Microsoft 365. Lastly, Agentic AI is something that's going to come with the paid version of Copilot, but it's going to be something you're going to have to build. You don't get it out of the box. It's something that you're going to need to say, hey, I need to solve this problem with AI, and I want tight constraints around it, so I'm going to invest and build and maintain this agent. With that, I hope that's something that helps you identify the AI tools that are coming to you and understanding what they're for and how you should use them. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. We'd love to hear from you.